our 360 round. We are looking ahead to Tesla, the earnings, the quarterly reports, what we want to know. Hatem Dhiab, managing partner, Gerber Kawasaki Wealth Investment Management, and William McDonough, founder, CEO, and lead portfolio manager at EMG Advisors. Thank you both for being here. So, William, as you look to the earnings, what are you focusing? Everybody's talking about the price cuts and margins, and some people will say, hey, it's not even making batteries. I don't know. I got a lot of bears that come on, but mostly bulls. William, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear who the bears and the bulls are, depending on how zoomed out you are in the story of Tesla. You know, I don't think Tesla cares about the traditional metrics that Wall Street measures OEMs and car companies by. You know, I think as evinced by the timing of them announcing these price cuts, it's almost like a thumb of the nose to Wall Street to say, we don't care about your price to earnings ratios. We don't care about your margin concern. You know, this factory they're building in Mexico is said to have a 40% smaller footprint and said to be able to produce cars 50% cheaper. Tesla wants to be the cheapest car, and they want to drown out the competition by being the most efficient and effective provider of this amazing battery technology. And I also don't think they care if 20 years from now everyone's driving Tesla Model 3s as much as do people have Tesla battery technology under the hood of whatever car they are driving. So I think it's about zooming out and realizing that this is one of the most innovative businesses of this century, and they're going to be a market leader in battery energy storage systems, in electric vehicles, and all the infrastructure that is necessary for solar, wind, hydro. Every part of our green future goes through batteries, and they are the leader in that space.
And so at this point, with record deliveries, Hatem, what will you be watching for from Tesla? And then I'd like to ask you both about where Tesla stands in the competitive landscape. But Hatem, start with just today.
Wow, it's kind of awesome to be on a day where we have another price cut, the 6th of the year. I agree with William. I don't think Tesla cares about the short term. I think they have a lot of margin to give. And as a result, as soon as they can reduce pricing, they're gonna do it, and they're gonna be able to pass that along to customers. They want to own the market. I think they are setting basically the stage for every other car manufacturer. And what we're gonna see is Austin and Berlin have a much better unit price per vehicle, and also lithium and component prices have gone down. So Tesla has basically done some cost cutting or cost savings, and as a result, that's being passed on. So for us investors, we can think about the short term, but Tesla long term is really kind of positioning itself as a leader and will continue to gain margin, I think.
You mentioned the price cuts. So the 6th of the year, I didn't even realize that. I mean, I know they've been cutting prices, but I didn't realize, you know, to what metric. So at this point now, William, as they're cutting prices, there are concerns about margins. That's something you could talk about. But where does Tesla stand? Is this the leader in your mind, or is there anything that's close, or maybe could put Tesla in second place?
Well, you know, Tesla has 64% market share of all EV sales. Their top two cars have 33 and 27% of total market share, the Y and the S. The next closest competitor has 3% market share. So it's going to be a long time before they are unsat as the leader in the clubhouse. One of the points that was just made is important, though. The biggest risk to their ability to deliver cars at affordable prices in the future is lithium, copper, nickel, cobalt, is the ability to acquire these processed metals that are the core components of all of this battery future at a price at which they can deliver vehicles at affordable prices. And so while they can control speed of production and they can control this beautiful marketing story that they tell, they cannot control the price of the underlying commodities, which is what my firm and our ETF charge, CHRG, on the New York Stock Exchange invests in, is the future price activity of copper, lithium, nickel, and cobalt. Tesla can't control that, and that's the biggest risk they have to their business.
And you said, you were talking about the metrics, and that Tesla doesn't really look at the metrics in the same way, right? And that the price to earnings ratios and all that. Hatem, we have on a bear who says, you know, hasn't really seen the batteries out of Tesla. It's still just a car company. It's truly overvalued. Had like a $25 target. What would be your rebuttal to that bear?
I mean, it's so hard to even acknowledge that comment. They sold 1.3 million cars last year using their own batteries. As William said, I mean, they have 66% of share. So I think that comment really cannot be dignified, in my opinion. They have the best battery technology. You know, they even the 4680 with this new battery is actually 30% even better than what they currently have. And they're having a bit of a trouble ramping that, but once it's going to ramp, it's going to even reduce costs even further. So, yeah, the technology that they have and the R&D in the battery space is just incredible.
All right, final quick thought, William.
I'm excited to see what they do. You know, I think they've done a good job of bifurcating the investor day from the earnings calls. They've realized that Elon does a better job when he's up there, like, you know, with his Steve Jobs angles, and let the CFO do the reporting that's necessary for the SEC compliance stuff. So I don't expect a lot of fireworks today. I think that they're going to try to fit into the square box that exists for this reporting. And I expect more of the fireworks to come away from days like today. I'm excited for their numbers, but I don't care what their numbers say, because I believe that Tesla is going to be multiples higher than it is today. And I'm excited about, you know, the growth of the adoption curve of battery technology in EVs, solar, wind, and all green technologies.
Yeah, and I know, Hatem, you were happy to hear more about the deep bench that supports Elon Musk there at Tesla. Thank you both for being here, Hatem Dhiab and William McDonough.